Hello and welcome to Ask the Icon, a live web series, first of its kind in India, exclusively for working professionals. I'm your host, Kaushik Majumder, author and workplace challenge consultant. Needless to say that the impact of the pandemic all over the world has pushed us into a situation which is unprecedented. Yep. And if you are a working professional, then you must be a worried person today. I'm sure you have a lot of questions with very little clarity. You are looking for specific solutions to your problems, to your challenges, right? And that's exactly what we intend to achieve on every episode of Ask the Icon. So the idea behind Ask the Icon is to make a difference in the lives of working professionals by providing solutions to their challenges. And specific solutions demands specialized knowledge and experience and not generalized knowledge and experience. So on every episode of Ask the Icon, a guest icon from the corporate world would join us live on Facebook and would address your specific questions. So without further delay, I'd like to introduce you today's icon. But before that, let me tell you a quick story. In January this year, I had a WhatsApp chat with him. He's a resident of Singapore. So on chat, he told me, Kaushik, I'll come to India in February and I want to meet you. So I said, of course, please let me know your, whenever you'll be available, your date and time, and I'll be there. Yeah. After that, he said to me, Kaushik, I want to buy your book. Now, I did not know what to say, for a few moments. I was just, I was just thinking what to answer. Because he is talking about buying the very same book in which he himself made a significant contribution with his inputs. I said, if I can get the opportunity to present you a copy of the Process Pro, my book, it would be a memory I would cherish for the rest of my life. And a few years back, when I called him with my request to be the guest on Ask the Icon, he said, when you want me. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly proud to present you today's icon. He started his professional journey close to 30 years back in pharmaceutical industry. I think more than 2.5 decades in Novartis, India, as a CEO and also in many other positions. So an influential and eulogized influencer, yep, an inspirational leader, and an impeccable human being. Ladies and gentlemen, our today's guest icon is Chairman and Managing Director of Wellesta, Singapore, Milan Paleja. Thank you very much, Milan, for joining us on today's episode of Ask the Icon. So I'm sure on behalf of every viewers watching today, we are proud to have you on this episode. So thank you very much again. So over to you, Milan, for your opening comments, please.
Kaushik, many thanks for inviting me to this webinar episode. I'm very glad to see if whatever I can do based on my experience of these 3 decades in a lovely company where I learned a lot and had opportunity to work in 6 different countries in 3 different continents in the 5 CFO roles and 3 CEO roles. Happy to share my experience to give the comments on the questions coming from the audience. And if I can be useful to anybody with their questions, it will be my pleasure. What I'll be sharing is with my learning of the life of last 3 decades and how I would approach or how we will approach from my new company, the Wellesta, which I started last year after I left Novartis, and very glad with God's kind blessing and best wishes of the friends. Wellesta today is operating in 3 countries and we have 270 employees. And we tell to the people that when we have a country going through our world is going through the COVID pandemic, we are not reducing anybody. We are maintaining all our employees and trying to say that they remain safe and healthy. And then once the COVID is out, we are getting ready for the next journey. But once again, thank you very much to have me here and happy to go into the Q&A of the colleagues who are there to submit the questions, or they might have submitted the questions to you.
Thank you very much, Milan. Thank you very much. So before we move on to the question answer session, Those of you who have not read my book, The Process Pro, it's a 360-degree perspective on corporate systems and processes. So for the book, I've interviewed 35 smartest minds of this country and incorporated their views in it. So Milan has kindly shared his immensely invaluable inputs for the readers and made the book a must read. So if you have not read it already, you can order your copy on Amazon once the lockdown is over. Yeah. So Milan, on this show, I would ask you questions that I've received from the viewers who are working professionals on various Facebook and LinkedIn. So with your permission, should we proceed with
Sure.
Ask the Icon, please? Yeah.
No, by all means.
Thank you very much. So the first question, Milan, that I've received from Ashin More. His question is, what are the top 2 factors that makes an organization employee friendly? Please, over to you, Milan.
I think very good question. I would say the employee friendly organization, it can be 2 ways. One, from the professionally, and second, personally. If I come at a professionally, organizations should make best out of the capabilities which an employee has. So make best use of employees' educational or experience skill set for the objective of the organization. And second, if a person is given a new role or change in the role with the situation, the person should be given capability training for a person to be more effective and adding value to the organization. So it is a 2-way. One, make best use of the capability, and second, help add into the capabilities of the person. This is a 2-way which I think organization can be best for employee friendly. In addition to, if we look at more on personal angle, where organization can keep flexible working hours. People come from long distances. They should keep a flexible working hours, which can have people to have flexible time, where working mothers or working guys who are also doing evening college or traffic solutions, that could be one. Second could be also more like, paternity leave. Maternity leave is a law, but paternity leave is also important, where father can be with the mother when she is delivering a baby. Paternity leave. Somebody is doing the education, which is a link to the studies which are linked to their job profile, then can be educational subsistence, subsidy, or even partially loan. So such things can be looked to be employee-friendly organization. These are the few points come to top of my mind.
Okay, so the second question is from Indu Bajaj. Okay, and the question is, in a particular situation where stakes are high, as a leader, you take a decision. Now you got the team rallied around you, and midway you realize that your decision was wrong. Would you roll back the decision, or will you go ahead because you have already taken the decision and try to make the best out of the wrong decision? What would be your take, Milan? Over to you, please.
So I think this is also very nice, very good question of Indu Bajaj, a compliment to ask such question.
Thank you.
What I would say that every leader, no leader can say that they never made a wrong decisions. Every leader makes the decision. I learned one thing in my life many years back, when first time I was a business controller and I had to work on something. I was hesitant because I have never made such decisions. And when I took it, I was more or less put in a situation to decide on something very important matter. And I made a decision. Then I told my boss, this is the decision I made. You were overseas. And the CEO at that time, the country president, said, congratulations, you took a courage to decide. Now, decision is right or wrong is another aspect. But most people are afraid to take a decision. So I would say that in the situation like Indu describes, that somebody has decided and realized that decision is wrong. I would say if I'm in that situation, I would look at it and say, okay, we have decided, but is this right? And what is the gravity of the situation? If this is a wrong decision, I would do a 2-way stakeholder management. One, I will inform my seniors in the type of company like Wellesta to my investors that look, this is a decision done, but it is not right in this time. And second, I will align with my team. So if I give a quick example of current situation of COVID, we were scheduled to launch a couple of products in the month of March and April in few countries, same time. We were to launch few products in India, we were to launch few products in Singapore, and we were to launch few products in Indonesia in the month of May. With COVID situation coming, these were all decisions done last year, and the products were under stability trials. Now, what happens? We cannot go ahead, but we have sunk in the money, okay? Now, do we go and launch a product in a bad timing? No, it's wrong. So we align our stakeholder and said, look, we are going to delay the launch post-COVID. We have some people joined us to launch those products. The product managers come in, sales directors have come in. So we align them and say, guys, we're not going to fire you. We're going to maintain your salaries. But the launch will get delayed in the more ideal time.
Right.
Okay. So you look at a situation, and I would say that if a decision is wrong, nothing wrong, is best thing to admit and try to work with the stakeholder, could be your seniors, could be your investor, could be your team, and come out with a new best decision and which is the best for the company and the team.
Right. So you are basically saying that connecting with the stakeholders, the management first, and then the people within the team, right? Is that the correct understanding?
Most management is a very mature to understand. If you say Peter Drucker, which was a modern management guru, said many years back, what you do, why you do, you need to be clear about it. So same way, if you have decided something in your life and which was not correct, best thing to say and rationalize what made you to decide and what are the change in circumstances to realize that decision was right maybe that time, but not right at this time. So you don't continue to prove yourself right or to hide, because it will come out one day. So best thing to engage the people and then win people's trust. Once you people trust you, win people are with you.
True. Third question is from a gentleman called Amber Pradhan. As a leader, had there been ever a time when you doubted your own ability, question yourself, am I a good leader? Or as good a leader I thought I am? And as a successful person, how did you turn it around, turn the situation around? So that was the question from Amber Pradhan.
Yeah, I would say this is also nice questions. I think we have very smart questions coming. In every leader's life, I would say that no leader will say I'm a perfect 100% in everything. There would be the situations will come and where person would be a little bit shaken up, or will say, am I the right person in the situation? I would say to you is that any time if a leader get that situation, it is not uncommon. I myself encountered a situation because a leader is not expert in all the area. If you are leading an organization and if you are a leader of an organization, either you are a business guy or you are a marketer or you are a technology person, but you may not be all-rounder in all aspects. Okay. So I give an analogy of a cricket match. In a cricket match, though you have a captain, and if the match is not going as desired, we have colleagues from India on the line, so everybody loves the cricket. Hence, I give the analogy of cricket. Outside the world, I will give the analogy of football. Okay. So if you look at the analogy of cricket, and if the match is going on and everything is going wrong, you are on the bowling side of the team, and whoever bowler you use, the guys are hitting like hell. Then what do? Then you are shaken. Any captain would be shaken. What the hell? Match is going out of the hand. But then captain will consult the vice captain and few senior players, and then decide to use the right capability and the skill set within the team. In cricket, there is no chance to add, but sometimes they bring the 12th and 13th player who are on a backup, and one player will go out. In real life of business, when we realize that we may not have the in-house capability, then you bring the experts to help you, guide you, coach you. Nothing is wrong in saying as a leader, I don't know everything. It's okay. But it is good to accept that I don't know everything and get a specialized support from the either consultant or from in-house the company in the outside the different geographies. And we practice that time and again. I did practice similar thing in my life when I'm a country head in one of my role, and there's issues relating to the manufacturing and HSC. I do not understand. And we could not sure that whether our team knew everything. And we quickly reach to our regional team and get the support of the experts coming from other country and help us out on solving on HSE issues. I would say to you, any leader has to look, and suppose you solve it, going further to Amber's question, and as a successful person, how do you turn it around?
Yep.
When you are successful and you have managed the situation by your team or external support and situation is turned around, be humble. If arrogance goes to your head, people is not going to help you next time. Never have arrogance. Be ready that you are not knowing everything. Be humble. Yes. And we have enough such examples in India. Like if you look at people like Ratan Tata, Narayan Murthy, they are such a smart and capable, successful leader. We take few names, Mukesh Ambani, but they always are humbles to say how they present themselves. And they're always saying we are keen to listen and get guidance from the people. Okay.
So Milan, I've just received a comment which I want to mention over here. Jignasha Gajaria. So she writes, she writes, Milan Paleja's success story is an example of high moral ethics, extreme hard work and perseverance, always leading from the front. So yeah, so thank you, Jignasha, for this fantastic comment. So the next question is
my thanks to her as well. My thanks to her as well that she passed such a nice comment. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we have got so many questions, but we had to only include the ones which are related to workplace challenges. And because, as I mentioned in the beginning, that this web series is exclusively designed for the working professionals, and also we had to keep a watch of the time so that we can take as many questions as possible within the stipulated time. So the fourth question, which is from Sudeshna Rao. And it was, it was my question also. I have spent 2.5 decades in IT industry, and probably after, say first decade or so, I was also having the same situation. So what Sudeshna Rao is saying that I have been working in IT for last 10 years. After engineering, I joined IT. It was a natural progression. But today, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy with what I'm doing. But programming is the only thing that I know, which is the only thing I know and only source of my income. So, I thought of doing something else, not know what. Yeah. So no clarity over there. What would you please help me take a call, especially considering the prevalent crisis, today's situation? Over to you, Milan, please.
Yeah, Sudeshna, I think after the 10 years of our working experience, okay, if I correlate this, I started my working life as a management intern at the age of 20 and 23 qualified, 23, 24. At the age of 34, I was working in plant controlling, and I was also not happy doing the plant controlling. And then I wanted to go into business finance, which I changed my life, okay, at the age of 30. I would say to you is that, and this would be a questions coming to many people's mind. I would say, if you are doing something and you are unhappy about it, think seriously what you want to do, because at the end of 10 years, you still would have minimum another 20, 25 years working life ahead. So you should consider what you would like to do and what you can do to add yourself beside IT. It could be a business school degree, because if you say you want to be a marketeer or you want to be working in a bank as an analyst, then you should do a CFA type of program, Chartered Financial Analyst or MBA. But you need to know what you would like to do. Talk to the people who know you more. Spend some money on getting an aptitude test. It costs around $250, and get aptitude test. It will tell you a little bit more about your subconscious mind, and go and educate yourself during evening hours. I wouldn't say jump to something. suddenly, but develop yourself for the next line which you want to develop. And once you are ready for that, it may have that next job will give you a little lower salary than what you make. Be ready for that. Okay.
Right.
And then work for something which you have the dream. I had very nice job, wonderful career, and I have a dream to start this company many years back. In 2006, I had a dream to start company like this. Name was not known. And I went and changed my line because that time I used to be only chief financial officer 3 times. But I went and did chief executive officer job. Company gave me the chance. I did couple of projects for the company to get them confidence that I can be a good commercial leader, which gave me a much more confidence that I delayed my dream, accumulated some savings for myself and more confidence, and then took a jump to start a venture. So I would say the job rotations, looking at a different alternate career, world is more modern. And I'm sure Sudeshana, you would have much more opportunity. Sit peacefully, think to your loved ones, they will guide you, and then plan slowly that what you want to do and start developing yourself.
Right. Yeah. So have first inside clarity, internal clarity, then talk to people, and you'll find the road ahead.
And develop yourself. First, validate your stuff. Get validate with your loved ones. Needed assessment center, and then put into your efforts for learn and development, and then go for a rotation. Okay. Then go for the rotation. And once you go for the rotation, at times people will offer you less because that is not your strong area. Be ready to take little less for some time because life is long enough and you will be able to catch that.
Right, right. So I've just got another comment, which has been from Mahesh Karande. Probably you know him because he said that I have worked with Milan and have known him for several years, and high integrity and trust are all his hallmarks. So thank you very much, Mahesh, for such a fantastic comment. So
my thanks as well, Mahesh. Appreciated your comment. Mahesh is the CEO of a biotech company in the USA. We've been colleagues in the past together. A very, very, very enterprising leader. He's the CEO of a biotech company in the USA. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Mahesh, for watching this web series, this program today. So the next question is from Anish Bakchi, and I personally like this question. As a leader of a team of 20, I can see working from home has drastically reduced team's productivity. The team is delivering half of what they were delivering from office before the pandemic, and that increased the pressure on me as a leader. I have to bridge the gap or take the blame from the customer due to under-delivery. Now, work from home has limited my reach as a leader to my team members at an emotional or motivational level. Please advise how I can get my team delivered to the expected level. Thank you very much, Mahesh. So yeah, sorry. Thank you very much, Anish, for this wonderful question. So over to you. Okay, before that, you take that on, Milan. There's another follow-up question, and the question is asked by Fahad Khalid, and Fahad is from Malaysia. And how to connect effectively with team and stakeholders, how the future looks like, and what capabilities the leaders need to build to manage with this crisis. So I thought both of these questions are relatively, are kind of related. So yeah, over to you, Milan.
Yeah, so I would say to Anish that, Anish, you are not alone. Everybody is facing the similar situation with work from home, where people are not used to situation, are not comfortable. In fact, today we had a discussion among our team here, where one of the country leaders is having a challenge delivering the objective, and commercial director questioning what's happening. I would say to you is that you need to engage your team. Okay. Yeah. Express your situation. Say that, look, and get their buy-in. They may have a lot of challenges where if a person who is managing, working with external key account, customers are not available. Okay. If you look at pharma industry, your pharmacy retail chains, giants are working retail store, but big key account are not making any decisions. And you are also not going ahead with any decisions to put a product on any special program. Right. So schemes are getting But people who are working on a call centers or people who are working on a follow-up with the customer service, and if you see the productivity low, I would say, Anish, what you can do. If you are seeing generally across the team, engage the team together. If you are seeing among the specific people, engage those people one-to-one. Don't try to put people together. Engage them one-to-one, talk to them and say, look, this is what I observe. Express your situation to them and ask them, like, this is what I'm experiencing and what I observe. How can I get your support that we overcome? Once a person has a buy-in, then there is a higher accountability and person will start delivering. And if the person doesn't deliver, your follow-up discussion will be more powerful. Yes. Instead of you able to just frustrate. So engage the people, express your feeling and try to get their accountability to deliver. And you should see a difference. If I go to the Fahad, what you questioned is that how to get and connect effectively with the stakeholder. And here I give the real life example. Wellesta is a company has two verticals. One vertical, we are marketing service provider for big MNC companies. And second vertical, we have our own products too. So when there is a lockdown has come in, okay, slowdown has come in, certain product launches, what we had planned is we have to delay, as we were talking earlier. So when we reached to our principals and we told them, look, now we are going to work out a work from home policy for even our reps. We have between the three countries, we have around 240 odd reps, medical reps working, sales and medical reps. Now they cannot easily walk into the hospitals and talk unless there is an emergency. So we engage our principals. We have 5, 6 different MNC, very good customers. We engage them and say, look, this is going to be a situation. Number of calls will be limited. We developed a work for home policy for our reps and gave them the tablet. We made an extra investment that because then each of the reps carry now the tablet to use that for effectively do a video call with the doctors or video call with the guys who are in the hospital care. What has worked for us? Engaging the stakeholder who for us are investors, are our principals and our employee. And this is not one time. It has to be ongoing on what is working and what is not working. Yep. So that is my view. When you have ongoing engagement, it will work hard. And second thing, what are the capabilities required in the leaders, in my view, is agility. We will have to have highly agile with a change environment, ready to learn the new techniques because the old style may not work. We need to be in a different way. And third, ready to learn, okay? Because world is changing. COVID, in my view, will leave the impact for much longer time. And we will see that market spends will also change. We may not have the same buyer group. We may have a change in the buyer group too. So we'll have to see how do we be more agile to deal with the stakeholder management, deal with the market environment, deal with our employee, and deal with the new technology.
Right.
Am I clear?
Yeah, yeah. So Milan, a small, connecting question from my side is, you mentioned about the 3 countries that currently you have footprint in. India, Indonesia, you mentioned, and also Singapore, where you are based. Now, I believe that the question has a dimension of culture of the organization as well, right? How strong the culture is, it makes the things more easier for a leader to sort of have the influence over the team. So now sitting in Singapore, how do you see it different from India? Or is there any different, if there is any difference between Singapore, the way it works over there, and India, and also if some idea about Indonesia, then we might can learn something, yeah?
See, if I say in a very simple words,
yeah,
the capabilities are very high in India. Education standard, education level, very high in India.
Yep.
But a lot of time is spent in debate, in discussion, because God has given us a lot of intelligence, so we debate a lot.
Right.
Okay. In Indonesia, people would debate, discuss very quickly and align. And once as aligned, then there is the execution is a fast. Okay. So it's a fast. So we see the difference in the culture. Indonesia is a predominantly a Muslim nation with 92% of the population being Muslim. But we are a perfectly acceptable culture where We don't see any difference. Singapore is a true professional country. Is a something what we say and what we do, it perfectly works. We don't have to worry about. So
Right.
I would say that culturally we have to adapt, because each culture we respect, because
Right.
country culture you cannot change, also you adapt. But I believe in one thing, the organization culture is set up by the leadership team. That
Okay.
how you want to get your organization little different compared to the rest of the organization. So where
Right.
our organization behave that we are a small MNC, behave very ethically, we are ethical company. Everywhere, wherever we operate, we work as a professional. What we say and what we deliver, we want to
Right.
be in. And there we are trying to bring a similar organization culture, but definitely each country has a different culture. Even one country like India, if we say when you go from north and south and east and west, culture varies and food varies.
True.
So the country to country, definitely we have the variation in culture.
So effectively, what he's saying is that if Anish Bagchi is sitting over there in Singapore or in Indonesia, things might will be the same what he's facing in India, right?
I would say the
Because
facing will be the same. Situation
right,
will vary. So a country like Singapore, if we have a 9 o'clock call, I would say 9 o'clock work from home, still everybody is on the call. Okay.
right, yeah,
Sometime in some other countries at 9 o'clock, you may have somebody little late and here and there. Okay.
right,
But I would say that I wouldn't say all are bad and all are good. So definitely country to country culture varies, but you can see definitely some challenges everywhere. Anish will have
absolutely.
same challenges everywhere in any country. I'm sure some people will experience similarly in the modern world as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Milan. The sixth question is for Sutanya Basu, but before that, we are getting lots of comments, Milan. Biplab Saha mentioned that great learning experience, sir. So, yeah, thank you very much. We have received a comment from Kevin Naidu. Well done, Milan. You are a good mentor. Many people can benefit from your advice and experiences. So, yeah.
Hi, Kevin. Kevin is from South Africa.
Oh, okay. So we have got people from watching from Indonesia, Singapore, South Africa, Malaysia, and of course, India. So
And
thank
USA.
you.
We had Mahesh in USA. Yeah.
Oh, US as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you all. The next question is coming from Sutanya Basu. He said that, respected sir, how do you see changes in world economy, especially pharma market, from industry and patient perspective post-COVID situation?
I would say that, in my opinion, pharma market will become more bullish because COVID has wake up call not to one country or one, it is across the world, it created a havoc.
Okay.
And people will become more health conscious, hygiene conscious. And when they will become more health and hygiene conscious, they would try to put one extra amount of money for themselves and their family.
Yeah.
So which they were ignoring. So I would say overall pharma market would be better. But second side, I feel that it may so happen that overall the couple of months or couple of quarters, economy will have a slowdown. And if economy has a slowdown, people will try to spend less on the more expensive item. So they may say that if I have a less expensive medicine available, I will use that. Vis-a-vis, I will use a more branded expensive medicine. So you may see the shift, but definitely more medical awareness, more health awareness at all level, all tier of the society, and pharma market may become more bullish.
Okay. So while you are saying, the questions are popping up, some are so interesting, but we'll go after, probably once you finish whatever question we have shortlisted. So the next question is from Jayesh. How to stay positive in this uncertain time when there is no job security and fear among the employees to save their jobs? Yeah.
Yeah, this is I think, I used to have the same worry till many years back, or I would say a decade back. When a person who is an employed professional and a person who is an entrepreneur, a small shopkeeper who is running a shop, or a guy who runs a UDP restaurant, he doesn't know whether he will get a customer today or not in the morning when he starts his shop. So, but he will start his, one guy will start his restaurant, another guy will start his shop, and both of them do get their customers and the business run. So I would say that to remain the positive is each individual's choice, that do I get afraid of the situation, or
Right.
I utilize my competency and skill set and further sharpen my skill set, that I'm always in demand. I'm not the one who is at a tail end. Okay. So where if you continuously sharpen your skill, you are always in the demand. So your job is more secure. If your company where you work becoming weak, you can find another company who needs you, because world has many companies and they will be always in the need of a professional.
Yeah.
So to be positive, it's up to us to be not worry of the job. I would say best thing to be less worried of the job, to try to have a compulsory force yourself to create a saving of first at 3 to 6 months your expenses need in a bank. Then if you are a qualified professional, in 3 to 6 months, if you lose a job, you'll find another job.
Right.
Okay. And second, continuously enhance the skills so you are always in the demand in the market. I used to have the same fear at my early age when I was young, when I had children, I had EMIs to pay for my flat. And
Right.
I was worried that if I lose the job, what will happen? But how I overcome is that first secure a saving, second go on enhancing the skills so you have always in the demand.
Right. So you're saying that risk taking is not the right thing to do?
I would say take the risk, calculative risk you should take, any human being. There is a risk and no return. But
Okay.
before you take the risk, try to secure your family and secure yourself, to have some proper saving in your bank that you are not worried about. So take the security, take the risk, but don't take a blind risk.
Why I'm asking this question, Milan, because we have got a question from Himangsu Deshpande. Yeah. His question is what I've just asked. Looking into current situation and uncertainty, is not it worthwhile to look and plan for self-employment instead of job, looking for job? So yeah.
So I would say to you, is the answer is that self-employment is very good.
Yeah.
But one has to ask self that are you ready for the self-employment from all
Yeah.
angles? And all angle, I believe that could be a three angle. You should look at it, that what you want to do in the self-employment, do you have relevant skill set? It's not only having a skill set, marketing capability of your skill set as an entrepreneur. Because many a time we have a capability, but we have no marketing capability of our skill set because we were a professional delivering our objective in a company. And
Right.
third thing is that you may have a both, but then sustainability. Any business start, it will take some time. So we need to be having a fund to sustain ourselves till the time we are settled in our new line as a self-employed. For it could be 6 to 12 months. You may have to decide, each family is to decide. Sometime if a husband want to take a chance, wife might be working, then they can take a chance quickly. But if a wife is not working, or wife is working and husband want to, like, either way want to take a chance, possible. But if it's only single person earning, then you better have little more savings. Otherwise you are stressed when you have EMI to coming on the table, children's schools fees are there, or you have some unplanned expenses come. So that way I would say I had a dream to start company like this way back in 2006 and 7. But then I realized that if I have the dream to start company like this, at that time my majority experience was CFO. Only one role I had done of a CEO for around 18 months. So I forced myself to go into the commercial side and general management and CEO role. Thanks to Novartis, who gave me the exposure of 3 different CEO roles, which I did it, learned a lot, got more confident. And also I accumulated savings and network where people are ready to invest on me. And then we could decide to say, okay, I take a plunge at the age of 55 and moved from a corporate person to entrepreneur. I wouldn't say it's a company, it's a professional company which we run, but we are taking a risk that we are not going to earn for some time. Okay, and we are investing the company. So that would be my little answer in a little longer way for the
Yeah.
people who are thinking on self-employment.
So, okay. Next question is from Pavan Bhatt. His question is of twofold. The first part is what will be the impact on sales job in pharmaceutical industry and how technology can help generate business volumes without one-on-one interactions in sales. Your views. That was the first part. And the second part is what has been your three best learning in these trying times? How did you cope up with uncertainty? So that's the question. These are the questions that have been asked by Bhavan Bhatt. Over to you, Milan.
No, thanks. So first question first, okay? The first question, what will happen in the landscape for the pharmaceutical industry with the sales? I would say that with COVID, social distancing, doctors would be more careful of how many reps doctors will take. Technology would take little bit of a front gear. But my view, we have what I've seen till now and still what I see, because I still do meet the doctors. I do doctor visit in my new job as well. You have three type of doctor. Old generation, my type of gentlemen or the ladies, they still like to meet the medical representative visiting them. Your little younger guys, they are more preferring to say less physical interactions and more digital marketing. So they are keen, but that very little time, they are happy to be on a video call. They're happy to be on a CME through webcast. And third type of very young doctors who are in their early 30s, who are very keen more on digital side. So I would say that with the change of COVID and the landscape, I would see more and more companies would use the technology. So the people in sales should start becoming more savvy on technology, but it will not stop human interaction, but human interactions may come down. Okay, so get ready to the more technology savvy way, and the companies may use more and more. And doctors still have to access face-to-face to make best of human interaction, but those opportunity may reduce. Yeah. If I go to the second question, what was asked? What was the second question?
What will be the impact? What has been the three best learning in these trying times, and how did you cope up with uncertainty?
Yeah, if I talk about the situation of COVID, which we had not anticipated.
Right.
And what we are doing is that, and what I would do continuously is first accept the reality.
Yep.
Don't try to fight the reality, accept the reality. Ongoing engagement with your stakeholders, because situation is changing, okay? You have to engage your teams. The best way to work, ongoing engagement with stakeholder, whether it's customers or it is a government you are dealing with. We are working with Indonesian government on certain hospital supplies for the COVID. We work on the certain cancer drugs for our principals in Indonesia. We work on certain capital equipment in India, okay, which are going to the big hospitals. So you have to do ongoing engagement, working with the authorities, you have to do. And third, change the plan based on the situation. Now, earlier in India, we were all thinking that situation is not bad. Now we are seeing so many locations are in red zone. Or so many locations are more contained zone. That is going to delay everything. So if we remain on the status quo and we don't accept the reality, then we will be foolish. So accept the reality, ongoing dialogue with the situation, and go on adjusting your plan to see that you are most flexible to see how you deliver.
Okay, so again, I can see few comments. So it's Riet Willow, and sorry if I got your name wrong.
No, Riet Villon. Riet is my ex-colleague, and Novartis, she works. Hi to Riet.
Oh.
Okay, she was head of financial analysis, still Novartis, and my good friend and colleague. So hi to her.
Hi, hello, Riet. So Riet has, her comments is, Milan, how do you see the digital versus face-to-face interaction in post-COVID-19 days? So I think you have already touched that subject.
I see that digital will become more and more, Riet, more and more digital will come in. I would say that assuming if we say now, if it is a 20-25% digital and 75% human, I would say it would soon move to the 50-50. Right. More and more technology driven digital marketing will come in, and that would be the new way. And data analytics and the AI will be the way we will be able to continue.
Right. So the next question is from Avinash. The question is now with the COVID scenario, all the pharma companies, a lot of pharma questions, yeah. All the pharma companies are going overboard with the digital thing without foreseeing the output. Agreed, digital is the solution, but how would HCP react? Post-COVID, what would be the points a pharma whose rep has to consider in his day-to-day work, keeping in mind the industry will transform?
Yeah, I think it is, we touched upon earlier, but if I put it differently, industry will transform because pharma would be more and more required, but with maybe a lower margin.
Right.
Pressures will be there on the cost, and the companies will try to get more digital. So we would have, as I said earlier, the 3 generation of doctors. Certain doctors will complain. I hear when I'm being visiting, I was in Delhi in January and I was with one of the top doctors in my new company side. And then I was asking, Doc, so what do you think about our team? And say, your guy don't show up. Okay.
Right.
Your guy goes and into different places, but I don't see him because we see that these are the doctors who love, still
Right.
do a lot of physical interaction. But sometimes you see certain younger doctors don't want too much interaction because I was visiting another hospital in Delhi and I was interacting with a much younger doctor, a cardiologist, and he says, look, seems to be too many reps because your guys show up every week. Okay. So why should he see him every week? He can come once in a month, okay? So I would say with the change in the technology, I would see more companies using more digital marketing. And a rep has to move towards learning the new way of marketing. Use the HCP interaction, but this may be slowly moving down because younger HCP are also seeing more patients. Because you will have more patient reaching to the doctor at early stage, and doctors will lose, especially country like India, where ratio of number of doctors is much less to the number of patient in the worldwide average. Your doctors will be more busy. They'll give you less time. So you'll have to see how you become technology savvy and start moving along with the time while you maintain your personal interactions and personal rapport with the doctor.
Right. A question from me. People say that it's not going to be the same. Post-COVID situation is not going to be the same with the pre-COVID situation. Now, irrespective of the industry, across the board, how do you see the situation changes, if at all it changes in your opinion? Is it for better or for it will go down? How do you look at it? And from the working professionals perspective, over to you, Milan.
No, I think it's a good question. And if we have to say a realistic approach,
right?
And good thing you asked that across the industry. If I see that things will change, the certain industry would be in a heavy pressure and there would be a huge downsizing, like you say, hospitality industry, the 5-star hotels, okay, would they have the same number of customers? No. The luxury tours company, the cruise liners, airlines are suffering, airlines are going bankrupt. So industries would get a big effect. So if we see Duns and Bradstreet, DNB has come out with very nice analysis about impact on different industries, short, medium, long term, which is available on the web. People have to say that if they are in the wrong industry, they need to see they slowly move to the right industry to secure themselves. Okay, this is not to create a fear.
Right.
Second, if you are in the right industry, like healthcare, which is, we say there are sunrise industry, sunshine industry. IT is a sunrise industry once upon a time. Now it's a sunshine. Till the time human being is alive, they will need IT.
Yeah.
So IT will have, but IT big jobs they may also try to cut down the cost. So people have to be careful. Pharma would be sunrise because people will be trying to more push and go. So sunshine will become a little more sunrise. But hospitality, automobile, hotels, okay, cruise liners, you'd suffer. So people will have to see that if you are in a wrong industry, start shaping up yourself that you can go and work in other industry. Unless you are too specific to an industry, you can jump. People who are professionals on IT angle or finance angle or marketing angle, they can change the line. And it is not too impossible. It will take a while, but you can move into the line. Yeah. Second, there would be spend will come down from average family They'll try to spend on less on luxury and more on necessity and more on health. Real estate would suffer because real estate will suffer for quite a few months. So I would say that people has to gear up, watch out on their spend level, ensure there was sufficient spend, right industry you work for, refine your skill set continuously, be agile. And I say, don't get scared. This is if I say, take the example of Phoenix bird. We know the Phoenix bird, every couple of years, they throw all the old and they get a new life. Okay. So this is a time where you can revamp yourself, get ready for a new life, a new challenge. The nature is giving us a call and it's a wake up for everybody. And I'm quite sure that will be a nice for everybody.
So I think we are done with all our questions. And so the viewers, how do you like it? I'm sure Milan's answers have given you clarity, provided solutions to your challenges, cleared all your doubts. So those of you who have missed the interview from the beginning, you can watch the full interview on my YouTube channel, The Process Pro, Kaushik Majumder. Now, viewers, you know the drill. Please go ahead and hit the like and share buttons. And for regular updates, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon. For any comments or suggestion, of course, if you have any question for the icons, you can put that in the comment sections and we'll get the answers. Now, of course, now the time for the surprise gift for the standout question of the week. So Milan, would you please tell us the one question of the day that you found either relevant, innovative or interesting, which is the most innovative or relevant or interesting in the lot that you have answered today?
See, I would say, though you asked me for one, but I'm thinking first I want to compliment all the questions which are selected by you were excellent question.
Thank you.
But if I want, yes, excellent question. I think that covers quite a lot. What we can do is that I can give, instead of one, I felt two questions which are very nice. One question coming from Indu Bajaj saying that, did you feel that your decision was wrong and how do you react? Correct? Which is the most times, most leaders do not want to accept that they have done something wrong.
Right.
Okay. And most leader makes error in the judgment. Okay. And it is nothing wrong in making error, but more relevant to accept reality.
Right.
So, okay. Second question or comment which is coming, that Fahad is talking about how to connect effectively to stakeholders in the current situation where everything is fluid, nothing is planned. So it continuously ongoing engagement. So Fahad and Anish Bakchi, the questions which were overlapping, or how the future is looking with the crisis, how do you manage? So stakeholder management at three levels, your investors or your management, your peers and your team, okay, in the current situation. These two, I would say, nice questions, and I would like to compliment them, but compliment to everybody, all questions were excellent.
So thank you very much. So Milan, so Fahad and Indu, there is gifts. So usually it's for one person, but Milan has decided that this time those two questions are the standout questions. So you're going to get a surprise, an amazing surprise gift, which you'll get by tomorrow. And now, Milan, anything for the closing comments from your side, Milan?
No, I would say to the audience that two things. One, if any of your questions are burning and not answered, reach to Kaushik. He will reach me. I'll help you get answered. Second, to all of you would say, don't take this as a challenge. When God gives us a challenge, it is up to us to break ourselves or to come out as a successful person. Consolidate yourself along with your loved ones and family. Identify what are your strength area, develop further, and I'm quite sure all of you will come out more successful. So the challenges are there where we learn new things and we come out more confident and successful. This is what I believe in that, and I tell the same thing to my team of a small 200 people plus 270 guys we work, and say, look, keep your health strong, sharpen your skills. So we are spending a lot of time training our people. You have to also do the same thing for self and get ready. COVID will not remain forever, maybe next 4 months, in my view. COVID would be out, then you would be back because vaccines will be out soon, and then you would be back to the not
That's
same
normal.
world, but and you will be able to conquer back. So I want to wish everybody all the best, and thank you once again for Kaushik for having me here, and thanks everyone, the audience, for lovely questions and lovely interactions. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Milan, for your time and taking these questions. So with this, we have come to the end of today's episode. So viewers are looking forward to see you in the next episode of Ask the Icon with another interesting perspective and lots of clarity. Till then, with the icon Milan Paleja, this is Kaushik Majumder wishing you a good weekend ahead. Take good care of yourself, and thank you very much for watching Ask the Icon. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.